Today, let's dive into a very important social topic. Why is it that rich people tend to be sad, while poor people are content with what they have? I grew up around a lot of rich people, because my dad was a broker in a big city. And I remember thinking, wow, these people have so much money, they must be really happy. But I could see that a lot of them were struggling with things like addiction and depression. And some of them were just kind of numb, like their emotions were turned off. They had a lot of money, but they weren't using it to make themselves happy. They were using it to buy things to fill the void inside of them, like shopping or drugs or alcohol. At the same time, I also saw a lot of poor people who were really happy. They didn't have a lot of money, but they had something much more valuable, which was peace. They had a sense of inner peace. They knew who they were and they were comfortable with it. They didn't need money to buy happiness because they already had it inside of them. So why is that? Why do rich people tend to be sad and poor people tend to be happy? Well, I think it has something to do with perspective. Rich people tend to have a very limited perspective because they're so focused on making more money. They think that if they just have a little bit more money, then they'll finally be happy. But they never reach that point. They always want more and more and more. And in the process, they lose sight of what's really important in life, like their relationships, their health, their happiness. Poor people, on the other hand, they don't have as much money, so they're forced to focus on other things in life. They have to focus on the things that are really important, like their relationships, their health, their happiness, because without those things, they can't survive. They can't just focus on making money and ignore everything else. They have to take a broader perspective. And I think that's why poor people tend to be happier. They have a broader perspective on life. They know that there's more to life than just money. So the next time you see a rich person, don't be fooled by their money. Look deeper and you'll see that they're probably not as happy as you are. That's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow with another matter.